Ciao, sono Anna e questo è My Italian Circle. We Italians often complain about how difficult it is to learn English. Pronunciation, different use of tenses, different use of articles, phrasal verbs. But the opposite is also true. Learners of Italian face many obstacles, such as verb conjugation, of course, and different use of tenses, different use of articles, pronunciation. Didn't I just say the same things? Cheer up, we are in the same boat. Siamo sulla stessa barca. Today's video takes a practical approach. We will look together at a list of common mistakes in order to become more aware of where you should direct your efforts to improve your Italian. This lesson is in English, so everybody can understand, and will be particularly useful to beginners. But I hear these mistakes at all levels. Cominciamo!
Giusto o sbagliato? Common mistakes in Italian.
Vado prima alla posta e poi dal fioraio. Prepositions are a common source of blunders. First of all, we need to remember that there is not always an exact correspondence between prepositions in Italian and English. So, we have to remember a few rules. Io vivo in San Francisco, in California. Not 100% right. Io vivo a Venezia, in Italia. The rule is a plus city, in plus country or region. Io vivo a San Francisco, in California. Remember that names of countries in the plural form take prepositional contractions, le preposizioni articolate. Gli Stati Uniti. Io vivo negli Stati Uniti. Le Filippine. Io vado nelle Filippine. And we say il Regno Unito. Io vivo nel Regno Unito.
Vivo nel Regno Unito. Vivo a Colchester nel Regno Unito.
We also need to remember that there are some fixed expressions made of preposition plus place, and we have to learn them. For example, al ristorante and in pizzeria. So, vado in ristorante is not correct. It's vado al ristorante. A few common combinations are al ristorante, al lavoro, in pizzeria, in or all'aeroporto, in or alla stazione, in or alla posta, in banca, in libreria, in palestra, in biblioteca, alla fermata dell'autobus, all'università. Watch out, we say vado alla stazione di servizio or vado al distributore di benzina. I'm going to the petrol station. But if I refer to the person running the business, then I say vado dal benzinaio. Sono andata dal panettiere. Andiamo dal fioraio. You can have a look at our videos on the verbs andare and venire for more examples.
Vado in ristorante. Vado al ristorante.
Last but not least, ears. Sono andata a Parigi nel 2010 and not in 2010. Nel plus year. A very common mistake. Now let's practice. Translate. Mi piace o mi piacciono? This is an evergreen classic, a real trap for beginners. Mi piace tuoi amici. That doesn't sound right. The sentence a me piace il cioccolato, I like chocolate, literally means to me chocolate is pleasing. Therefore, chocolate is the real subject of the sentence. That's why we have that little word mi in front of the verb. Mi means a me, to me, and not io, I. To me, chocolate is pleasing. Mi piace il cioccolato. Or, a me piace il cioccolato. The verb is a singular form, third person singular, because chocolate is a singular noun. Mi piace la pizza. Mi piace la Francia. Mi piace l'Inghilterra. Mi piace la Spagna. What if I like more things and not just one thing? Then we have to conjugate the verb in the plural form. Mi piacciono i tulipani. I like tulips. To me, tulips are pleasing, literally. The subject is tulips, so we say piacciono, third person plural. Bottom line. If you like something singular, just say mi piace. And if you like something plural, then say mi piacciono. Mi piace la Germania. Mi piacciono la Germania e la Danimarca. Watch out. If I'm talking to two or more people and I want to say that I like them, the real subject of the sentence will be you plural, voi. So, I'll conjugate the verb in the second person plural. Ragazzi, mi piacete. Guys, I like you. Another tip. Remember that the passato prossimo of piacere is formed with the auxiliary essere. Il film mi è piaciuto, and not il film mi ha piaciuto. Now back to our opening sentence. Mi piace tuoi amici. Now we know that we have to say mi piacciono tuoi amici. However, there's still something wrong. Mi piacciono i tuoi amici. Now it's correct. The possessive adjective is always preceded by the article. Il mio libro. La vostra professione. I suoi cani. I loro amici. La nostra casa. Il tuo ragazzo. Le mie scarpe.
Mi piace i tuoi amici. Mi piacciono i tuoi amici.
This brings us to another source of headaches, possessive adjectives and kinship nouns. The rule says that with singular nouns of kinship, the article is not used. Mio padre and tuo cugino. However, there are some exceptions. The article is used with the possessive loro, their, il loro fratello, la loro zia. With modified kinship nouns, il suo fratellino, il nostro cuginetto, or if they are followed by an adjective, il mio zio materno, la mia sorella minore. The article is often used with mamma, babbo and papà, even though they're singular. Il mio papà, la tua mamma. From theory to practice. Translate into Italian. Che bellissima panorama! The problem is that panorama is masculine. The correct sentence is Che bellissimo panorama! Remember, some nouns, even if they end in a, are masculine. Some nouns ending in a are both masculine or feminine. A few nouns ending in o are feminine. So, we need to pay attention to all other words that refer to these nouns. They must all agree in gender and number with each other. This is a basic rule of Italian. There are several masculine nouns ending in a. For example, fantasma, pirata, poeta, pigiama, dramma, pilota, cinema, schema, diploma. Also the proper nouns Mattia, Andrea, Luca, Elia, Tobia are masculine. On the other hand, there are a few feminine nouns ending in o. Mano, auto, moto, foto, radio. What about nouns ending in e? They can be both, so you need to memorize them. For example, masculine: il sale, il mare, il pepe, il sole, l'amore, il colore, il giornale, il maglione, il pane, il paese, il padre. Feminine: la luce, la corrente, la classe, l'informazione, l'abitudine, la carne, la madre, la chiave. There are a lot of nouns ending in e. My advice is to memorize them as you come across them, so you can avoid common mistakes like these. Compra la pane e la sale. Che cattivi abitudini. In Italian, to talk about skills or acquired abilities, we use the verb sapere and not potere. So, the sentence I can play the guitar in Italian is io so suonare la chitarra and not io posso suonare la chitarra. In this context, we would use the verb potere to ask permission or to make requests. Posso suonare la tromba? Ti disturbo? Io ho andato al mare. Ho venuto in Italia molte volte. This is a tough one. There are no shortcuts. Verbs in compound tenses, such as passato prossimo, sometimes take the auxiliary avere and sometimes the auxiliary essere. In general, transitive verbs, verbs that take an object, use avere. Ho visto un bel film. Ho finito il mio libro. Usually verbs indicating movement, andare, venire, or a change, diventare, use essere. Reflexive verbs always use essere. Be careful. Some verbs of movement use avere. For example, camminare, passeggiare. Some verbs can use both essere and avere. For example, piovere, nevicare. Sono andato al mare. Sono venuto in Italia. Siamo andati a Roma. Ho mangiato la pizza. Abbiamo visitato la città. Remember, when the auxiliary is essere, the past participle behaves like an adjective and agrees with the subject in gender and number. Marco è andato a Roma. Carla è andata a Roma. Le ragazze sono andate a Roma. I ragazzi sono andati a Roma. Did you get everything right?
Vivo a Glasgow, in Scozia. Devo andare dal dentista. Andiamo dal macellaio. Vado alla posta. Vado in posta. Andiamo in stazione. Andiamo alla stazione. Sono andato a Parigi nel 2001. Mi piace tuo fratello. Mi piace la tua sorellina. Mi piacciono i tuoi cugini. Mi piacciono i nostri amici. Mi sono piaciuti i tuoi spaghetti. Mi è piaciuta la tua pizza.
Today we analyzed a few common mistakes. To summarize, the topics were: how to use the verb piacere, definite articles before possessive adjectives, possessive adjectives and kinship nouns, a few tricky prepositions, confusing noun endings, sapere versus potere, avere or essere in compound tenses. Of course, it is difficult to remember all these rules at once, but don't lose heart. A useful approach is to write down the rules by hand in your notebook. My advice is also to read a lot in Italian, so rules and words will come into your head naturally. Graded readers are great. We'll list some of them in the description of the video. And of course, on this channel we have a lot of videos that explain the basics of Italian grammar in more detail. Have a look. If you have doubts or other questions, write a comment below. And of course, subscribe to our channel to help us grow and create more content. Let me remind our patrons that their weekly PDF with additional exercises is now available on Patreon. Not a patron yet? Well, join the circle. You will be in good company. Ciao!